Drop number 61. This is the RhinoShield AirX case for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And at first glance, I thought this was just another puffy iPhone case. But after looking deeper into the RhinoShield's AirX design story, this case is trying to solve a more complicated problem: internal damage. But here's what I really want to know. After dozens of drop tests, can this case actually protect my iPhone, keep everything working, and still look good afterward? To find out, we're going to put the RhinoShield AirX through real-world testing using Apple's own case design guidelines as a reference. By the end of this video, you'll know if the RhinoShield AirX is worth the $63 price tag, or if the idea is better than the actual case. Let's take a closer look at the materials, fit, and finish. According to the Amazon listing, the case is made from thermoplastic elastomer, or TPE. The simple way to think about TPE is that it processes like plastic but has some rubber-like qualities, which makes sense for a case that needs to flex and absorb impact. RhinoShield says it uses a single material design to make the case easier to recycle. RhinoShield also says the case has dual-sided pressure relief chambers shaped to improve grip and comfort. In actual use, I can see how the shape helps my fingers rest around the case, but because there's no obvious grip texture, it still feels a little slippery. I've also been using this case for about 1 week, and the back shows oily fingerprints and MagSafe charger outlines pretty easily. In terms of fit, the case is easy to put on, but takes a bit more effort to remove. However, I noticed that the edges of the case are quite flexible and not as rigid as I would like. When I took off the case, I also noticed quite a bit of dust and debris along the inner edges, especially near the top and bottom. As for the finish, the RhinoShield AirX has a very smooth design all the way around the case. The version I'm reviewing today is the Vero Black version, but it also comes in Flux Gray. And for even more personalization, RhinoShield has a design studio where you can add all kinds of artwork to the back of the case to customize it to your own personality. Now, inside the case, RhinoShield uses its shock spread material technology, air-filled channels, internal ribs, and a dual-layered air cushion structure to help absorb and redirect impact force. The real question is whether all of that engineering actually matters when the phone hits the floor. But before I do any kind of drop test, I do a simple white paper marker test. I mark the screen of the iPhone, then let it fall face first onto a sheet of white paper. If there's marker transfer, that means the screen is making contact with the surface. I also drag the phone across the paper to see if the screen touches during sliding contact. It's not a perfect lab test, but it gives me a quick way to see whether the front case lip is actually keeping the screen raised. The RhinoShield AirX passed both white paper tests without any issues. There was no marker transfer during the face-down drop test, and the screen did not appear to touch the paper during the drag test. That gives me some reassurance that the raised lip is doing its job and keeping the screen lifted away from flat surfaces. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the raw drop footage. And again, this is my personal iPhone 17 Pro Max we're using here. Alright, so this is the next case for testing. This is the RhinoShield AirX. Just want to show the condition of the case before I do the test. And really quick condition of the phone. Alright, let's get into the drop test. Drop number 1. By the way, if you like seeing these real-world drop tests and want to support the channel, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Also, let me know down in the comments what case you'd like to see me review next. Drop number 61. Alright, so this is the case after 60 total drops. So for the most part, I see very little wear or tear around any of the edges. I do see a little bit of wear right here, but very minor. I might be able to wipe that off. I'll try that later. Let's look at the phone. First, let's make sure that the screen is intact and that's still working. So you can see here, screen still works. We try the different cameras, make sure that they're working. You see different cameras still work. Let's look at the case itself. Close up of the camera area. No new damage that I can see. Now that we know how the RhinoShield AirX handled the drops, let's talk about the parts of the case you actually interact with every single day. In terms of buttons, the case has what RhinoShield calls 360-degree wraparound air cushioning. The buttons are embedded into the air chamber, and there are different markings on the exterior edge of the case that give you an idea of where the buttons are and what type of button it is. The camera control area has a visible dedicated button that uses carbon nanotube material to help maintain contact with the phone's camera control button. In actual use, the camera control button worked really well and was very responsive. For the rest of the buttons, even though I'm pushing on the case rather than directly on the buttons, they're all easy to press and have a nice audible click. There are cutouts at the bottom of the case, so the speaker, microphone, and charging port are unobstructed. However, while charging cables fit just fine, I did have some fitment issues with other USB-C accessories and had to remove the case to use them. In terms of gestures, there is a raised lip surrounding the front screen that is higher at the top and bottom of the case. The top and bottom lip have a sharper feel, and you definitely feel the case when making swipe gestures in those areas. However, the sides have a more rounded feel, which makes side swipe gestures much more comfortable. So in conclusion, I'm really impressed with what RhinoShield is trying to do here. Not only are they trying to design a case that offers basic exterior drop protection, but this is also the first time I've encountered a case company talking this much about designing for internal protection. After 61 total drops, the case did a great job of protecting the outside of my iPhone. I couldn't find any new exterior damage on the phone, the camera still worked like normal, cell signal and Wi-Fi speeds were normal, and from what I could tell, battery behavior also seemed normal. So yes, the AirX did its main job. It protected my iPhone. But protection is not the only thing that matters when you're paying $63 for a case you have to use every day. Even with those results, I still can't fully recommend the RhinoShield AirX for a few different reasons. First, it adds quite a bit of bulk to your phone, and it's definitely noticeable with one-handed use. I felt like my hand was being stretched open more than normal compared to other rugged cases, and it became uncomfortable with extended use. If you have small to medium-sized hands, I think you'll notice the bulk. If you have larger hands, this may not bother you as much. Second, although my charging cables fit just fine, I ran into an issue with some USB-C accessories that wouldn't fit without removing the case. For example, my DJI Mic Mini receiver, which I used for recording voiceovers, could not fit with the case installed. So depending on what you plan on connecting to your phone, this may or may not be an issue for you. Third, the smooth finish shows oily fingerprints and MagSafe charger outlines pretty easily. That may not affect protection, but for a $63 case, I do expect the case to hold up visually a little bit better during daily use. At a current price of $63, it's in the upper mid-range of case pricing, and there's a lot of competition at this price. That's great for consumers because there are plenty of alternative rugged cases to choose from if the AirX isn't for you. Even though I don't recommend this version of the AirX, I'm still fully behind what RhinoShield is trying to do here. I like that they're thinking about internal protection, I like that they're thinking about sustainability, and I like that they're trying to push case design beyond just thicker corners and taller lips. I look forward to seeing what RhinoShield does with future cases and the next version of the AirX, because I'll definitely be rooting for them. Now, if you want to see a case that I tested on more than just manufactured hardwood floors, including wood, concrete, and asphalt, check out my D-Brand Tech Case video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.